Hello YouTube, Thomas here again. I just cannot sleep right now, my mind's a bit too active, so I wanted to make a quick video regarding portfolio preparation for foundation. Now I'm planning on doing I don't have so much experience for master's degree portfolio preparation because I've only just submitted a portfolio myself. So as I understand that process more, I'll make videos on it. But I was planning on making a more specific video with practical advice for preparing a foundation portfolio, and then also a video for preparing for degree level, which is what your foundation should help you do anyways, but if you want to take my advice, you can. Now, for the foundation portfolio, I'm actually going to do another video which will be kind of more concise in this because this is just off the top of my head. I just know that this is kind of maybe urgent information for some people, so I just want to have something up that will help those who are in need of this information. But generally speaking, obviously everyone has their own concepts and their ideas, and everyone's work is going to be different. Now, if you're applying to a foundation year, I'm going to assume you're either coming out of A levels, or that you're in a gap year, or you decided to go into the creative industry or whatever, take that artistic direction in terms of I guess a career change or something like that. So if you're coming out of A levels have quite a rigid structure in terms of you make a set kind of amount of work for a set theme and you tick off the mark scheme boxes, which is how it was structured when I was doing A levels. Now obviously this can produce, in a sense, quite similar work. Now in a portfolio, when you're applying for foundation, you don't want to put just 15 or 20 pages of the same outcome. Now, say for example that I was predominantly interested in landscapes when I was doing A levels. Now, I could paint a pretty landscape, but 20 pages, which is usually the average amount of pages that you will put into a portfolio. As I said, I'll do another video on the actual practical advice of physically preparing a portfolio and whatnot. But usually it's 20 A1 pages with photographs or the actual work mounted or stuck onto those A1 pages. Ideally, you don't want to put it in plastic files, because the plastic basically affects the lighting and it can affect the viewing of your work. And actually what I've been told by people who do review portfolios is they actually take it out of the plastic to view the work. So if you want them to go through your portfolio with ease, don't get plastic wallets because they're also expensive. So ideally you just want to obviously seal any work that needs sealing, like charcoal or pastel works, and then mount it onto the paper. But I'm going on a tangent. So in terms of, obviously I'm saying everyone's work is different, but you want to get away from the rigid structure of A level. So when producing a portfolio, you need to be, if you're doing A levels, or even if you're on your own, you need to present work that shows a range of experimentation. And the main thing you need to focus on is finding ways to demonstrate that you're open-minded and that your working process, like you're motivated when it comes to your work. So, but you're willing to explore kind of, I guess, different directions. So for example, I'm a painter, but I had like conceptual kind of ideas presented in my portfolio when it came to my foundation portfolio. I had sculpture. I knew I was not going to go into sculpture. I wasn't necessarily interested in making conceptual installations or anything of this sort, but I was demonstrating that I'm open to these ideas, and that in terms of my working process, you know, my mind is capable of going in this direction, even if my main direction now is literally I just want to be an oil painter. But even now, for example, I'm still open-minded to working with new materials and possibly, you know, combining my skill with oil paint with other aspects of, I guess, artistic practice. But the main focus you really need to understand is, how am I going to present my working process and my mindset in regards to art as something which is, number one, obviously demonstrating whatever skill that you have is important. But if you do 20 pages of detailed charcoal drawings, great, they understand you can do detailed charcoal drawings, but that's it. Are you just like a one-trick pony? They don't care, basically. So even if your portfolio might seem a bit jumbled, full of different ideas, if they can see someone who has an exciting mind, that's what I think really interests schools nowadays, especially at foundation level. They're not. It's different when you come closer to MA, because at MA they're expecting you've refined throughout your BA, your degree, you've kind of refined your ideas. You kind of understand the direction that you're going in terms of your concept or your main theme of your work, and obviously this can change, but they expect you to be grounded in something. But at foundation, this is before even your degree, so they're more interested in how does your mind work and what outcomes, what are the outcomes of that kind of thinking process that you have. And they're more interested in a variety, because it shows that you're open to learning. And this is a stage where you're still developing before going into degree level and refining your ideas in that kind of studio space with academic guidance. So I'm going to cut it there before I ramble on too much. As I said, I'm going to do a more scripted video to do with a foundation portfolio, then a degree portfolio. And once I have the experience for an MA portfolio, I will also do a video on submitting a master's degree portfolio. And bear in mind, this is all in context for the UK. I'm sure the advice might come in handy with other countries, but I can't say for sure. So I hope this is helpful to anyone who is watching. And please don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy my advice. And I guess a good night, good night from me.